here we go. As usual, I'm in my car now, and we are off to the trimming salon we always go to. But it's 10. Our appointment time for today is 10 a.m. and now the time now is 9:27. We have plenty of time. Plethora of time. Okay. Since I'm driving, I cannot speak as fast or as quickly as I want. But okay, I'm on my main road now. I'm stopping at this signal. Alright, here we go. Until a little while ago, I was watching a YouTube video, in which that very famous polyglot named Steve Kaufmann was in. And it was a very interesting video. He was interviewed by an American lady who teaches English on her YouTube channel. And Steve Kaufmann, as you know, I think that if you are interested in language learning, I'm sure that you know who Steve Kaufmann is, right? Yeah, 100% sure. And he speaks more than 20 languages. He said that it's not that he speaks all those 20 languages completely fluently, but still he can speak English, which is his native tongue. He can speak Spanish, which is very good. Since I understand Spanish now, I understand how good his Spanish is myself. It's great. I mean, to be able to understand the language more deeply than you would if you don't even learn it, it's just great. It's a great feeling, and it gives me a sense of fulfillment. I love it so much. That's why I love language learning, because once you start understand even a little bit, your world your horizon, you can broaden your horizon. So that is why it's very, very fun. Okay, and other languages that he can speak. Well, he can speak German, French. Yeah, of course, because if you understand English, learning French, German, and any other European countries which have the same origin can be easier, right? Easier than learning other languages which doesn't have any language origin, like Japanese, Chinese, Korean, or some others, right? And I wonder what other languages he can speak. I cannot think of any others at the moment, but anyway, he is a polyglot. Polyglot is a person who speaks many languages. I think polyglots are not ordinary people in a true sense, because they are good at learning so many languages, and they can spend so much time and energy on acquiring foreign languages, so many languages. I think they are not ordinary people. They are very curious people. And they are very not workaholic, but in a good workaholic in a good sense, because they have to work hard, right? And something that Steve Kaufmann said in that video impressed me and encouraged me, which is, he said that if you learn a foreign language, you have to accept fuzziness, uncertainty, because I really need it myself. And ever since I started accepting who I am, my attitude toward language learning has been changing at the same time, because now I feel more relaxed about myself. I like more about me. I like myself more than before, because this is who I am and I accept it. And accepting who you are is the start of everything, I think, because in this way you can believe in yourself, even though you are not sure, but you can just believe in yourself. You try to believe in yourself without certainty. Yeah, it's totally okay. You believe in yourself even though you are not sure. Because if you keep believing yourself, then eventually, gradually over time, it might take lots of time, but still, eventually, you will realize that you have completely believed in yourself. And it happens naturally, and it takes time, as I said. So that is why you have to keep believing yourself, even though you're not sure. You don't have any ground reason. It's totally okay. And since I started having this attitude, which I didn't have, or I've never had in my previous moment of my life, and then language learning has becoming easier and easier somehow, because now I believe that making mistakes is pretty normal. It's humane, right? Because we are human, we make mistakes. We are not robots. It's a word that is pretty difficult for me to pronounce, because it is O sound, right, in it. But we don't have this pronunciation in Japanese, so normally Japanese people tend to, generally speaking, Japanese people tend to have difficulty pronouncing this word robot, or any other words that contains this sound. Yeah, there are other pronunciation sounds like th sound, the, or anything else. Yeah, many others, but we have to work on those pronunciation. And if we work on those pronunciation specifically, then it makes our pronunciation much better pretty easily. But people never notice normally the difference between those sounds made by native English speakers and the sound that we make, because we are not accustomed to making those sounds when speaking Japanese. We don't use those sounds. That's why it's natural for us not to be able to pronounce those words very well. But once you learn it, how to pronounce those words, those sounds, And but before that, you have to know, you have to be aware that you are not doing very well, because yeah, it's natural, even though it's natural, but unless you are told that you are not making the right sound, you cannot fix it in the first place, right? So that is very, very important. I mean, to learn that you are not doing the right thing is very important, and it doesn't have to make you depressed or discouraged, because you can learn something new which makes you grow even more. So that's what I wanted to say. And Steve Kaufmann, going back to my original story, Steve Kaufmann is always positive. He encourages us, and to hear him talk about language learning, he makes me relaxed. But now his talk makes me relaxed and encouraged even more than before, since I changed my attitude toward myself. And it's totally okay for us to make mistakes, and your growth happens without knowing. So it's very important for you not to worry about yourself. I mean, about the future. Okay. Some people are worried about their future when it comes to language learning, because it takes time, and it looks like it's not gonna change. It's not getting any better, no matter how much time they spend on language learning. But you have to make sure that it takes time anyway. Okay. It'll never change one day in a day or two. Okay. What's this sound coming from? What is this sound coming from? It's coming from the back seat, and as usual, one of the dogs named Garo is standing. Oh, he's sitting now. He's a good boy, but no, he stood up. He has stood up, and now he's looking outside. Where's the other dog named James, who is smaller and younger, 6 months younger, never sit on the seat. He always sit on the floor, and he isn't interested in looking out from the window. I don't know why. It's just that he's too small to get on the seat. No, I don't think so, because every time I sit on my chair at the table where I always study and eat something and enjoy watching all those YouTube videos, he's the only one who jumps on my lap. I don't know which. Is it singular or is it plural? Goro, sit. Good boy. Yeah, he listens, but he soon breaks the rule. He's too excited. He loves going out. That's why he's so excited. Okay, where was I? Yeah, when you learn your foreign languages, you have to accept uncertainty, fuzziness, because there are many things that you find it uncertain, right? So that is why it's the best if you enjoy the process, because the process is everything, and it takes time, and most of the time, like 95% of the time, you have to accept the uncertainty, and the rest of the 5%, you can really appreciate your effort, because your effort paid off. You understand that your effort is paying off, and it makes you really happy. I don't know. I want to use this word which starts with X and exhilarated. No, I'm back. Since my dog, as always, started barking, I had to stop the recording. Yeah, actually, while I was recording my voice, at the end, just before I turn it off, he already started barking, and it was in this recording, but since it was so noisy that I had to cut it off. And okay, so that it won't give everyone who might listen to my recording any trouble. Okay, and now I'm not with them because today, unlike usual, they went there. Okay, they went there to have a shampoo and get a haircut. So today is not like usual. Usually I take them to have their teeth brushed. But today, they have their teeth brushed also. But not only that, they are going to get a shampoo and a haircut. It's gonna be really expensive today because I have to not only for the shampoo and haircut for 2 dogs, but also the subscription I've been talking about in my previous videos. I always talk about this, and I have to pay for it, pay for the monthly fee today. So it's gonna be outrageous. I don't know, I forgot the word, which starts with O and out. Outrageous. Astronomical. Yeah, not out, but astronomical. But I'm happy to spend lots of money on my dogs because they're very important part of my family. They're very important family members to us, and I really enjoy being with them. And nowadays, keeping a dog might cost a lot because animal products. Animal products. I don't think this is the right expression. This is not the right way of saying this. Products made for animals can be pretty expensive because it's a big business, right? Yeah, that's why. They can earn a lot because people are happy. People wouldn't mind spending lots of money on their pets, right? It's a big business, and most of the time, such products are even more expensive than the products made for humans. Well, a dog barked. Okay, anyway, where was I anyway? Uncertainty. Most of the time, you never know if your your target language is getting any better. But actually, as you continue practicing, as you continue exposing yourself to your target language, it's improving. And since it takes time, you might get used to your current situation, and it doesn't look like it's changing, but it's actually changing. So that is why enjoying the process, well, even though you are not sure your target language is changing, is very, very important. Because if you are impatient, it makes you want to quit, right? If you quit, you make your progress stop, right? It's a waste of time. It's not totally waste. And as Steve Kaufmann said in his video, he sounded very positive and encouraging, but it's okay to forget, and because it happens all the time. It happened yesterday also, and it made me a bit discouraged, to some extent, but I didn't want it to depress me to a large degree. And because I knew that forgetting is something normal. And while I was reading a textbook I have been working on, it's a pretty new, simple one. It's an easy one, and I could use a textbook dealing with something more difficult at this stage. I mean, at my level, but sometimes if you learn something difficult, it doesn't help your conversational skills, meaning that if something that you're working on is too difficult for you, for your level, it's necessary for you to try something a bit difficult for your level from time to time. But if you use it mainly, then your conversational skills are not improving at all, because I cannot explain the reason, but when you realize, when you are trying to do some very easy things, like the one I'm using, the textbook I'm using now, I bought it pretty long time ago, and it only deals with very simple grammar. It doesn't deal with past tense even, and this just shows how simple and easy this textbook can be. It's a textbook designed for beginners, actually, and I'm no longer a beginner, but conversationally I'm still a beginner. Okay, I haven't practiced speaking Spanish, and then if I try only something which is a bit difficult for my level, then my conversational skills is not getting any better, because it doesn't give me the opportunity to practice, right? And if I try something easy, I can understand almost everything, but still, I didn't say anything for a while, right? That was because there was a zebra zone. It's not an intersection, but it was where pedestrians use to cross the street, and that section doesn't have any signal. So every time there's any pedestrians or people waiting for the cars to stop at such a zone. I'm not sure if I can explain this properly, and I don't know if I'm making myself understood, but I really hope that you do. Okay, this is good practice. Every time I get stuck, I can use different words, different expressions, antonyms or synonyms, or even I can explain what makes me stuck. Okay, and this is good practice, and I can just explain that I don't know what to say, I can't come up with the right word or something. It can be good practice. So this is what practice is all about. And the more often you use those unnecessary expressions, useless expressions, and the better you can get at them. And it's good practice because it makes you sound very fluent and natural, and that is why I've been practicing speaking for the past month, and it helps me sound more fluently just because I do this every day, repeatedly, consistently, continuously, and then I'm getting used to it. And my expression, I have more and more expressions that I can use in my conversations more fluently because use it or lose it, right? And it makes you fluent in a true sense. So that is why you should speak up. You should practice as many times as possible. And I think I'm lucky because for the past month, I've been pretty busy and I have become busier. I'm not busier than I used to. I was until a month ago because about a month ago, my dog's brushing teeth subscription started, and then it gave me more opportunities to drive, right? Until a month ago, I didn't drive much, but now I spend more time in my car, and all I need to do in my car is to drive. And it's important for me to concentrate on driving, but at the same time, why not I practice English? Why not practice my spoken English? And then every time I get in my car, even though I didn't mean to practice speaking for the day because I was too tired, or I'm too groggy, or I don't feel like doing this. But anyway, as soon as I start the engine, somehow it makes me feel like speaking in English, and it's totally okay if I'm too tired because I can explain that feeling or the situation in English. It can be good practice, right? And the more often, the more frequently you use the same expressions again and again, then it makes you fluent. Yeah. That's what practice is all about, and I'm now happy that I started my speaking practice after 6 months. I have the 6-month interval. I completely stopped practicing my spoken English at the beginning of October last year, and for the next 6 months I didn't study English at all. I just used my English to study Spanish, but that's all. And then, in spring this year, I was quite surprised because even though I had the 6-month interval where all I did was just study the Spanish, studied Spanish in English, but I was able to listen to English more clearly than before. And when I wrote something, I was able to write more smoothly. Words came out more quickly. And until then, I always felt that native English speakers are different. They are aliens. Yeah, because English they speak or they write. I couldn't understand 100% always, and the way they speak, the way they write are totally somewhat different from English that I speak or I write. And I never thought that it's getting any closer. I can be any closer to them. But at the time, I realized that when I read something that native speakers had written, I was like, what? Is it this simple? Was it this simple? I can't believe this. It's really simple. I might be able to write the same sentence myself or something like that. Yeah, something changed. Yeah, really, at that time. And it's so funny, right? It's the most intriguing part of language learning, because unless you have the opportunity to learn your foreign language in your life, you learn your foreign language somewhat at school, but it's like you have to do this, right? It's compulsory, and not all the people really want to learn their foreign language. It's just a school subject, and you have to do it, right? So that is why most people don't know how to improve your new language, because you totally forget how your native tongue has improved, because it happened almost naturally, right? It took time. Yeah, it took time. But you forget all about it, and now you are good at speaking your native tongue. All right. Where was I? Yeah, where was I? I forgot. Yeah, that's why now I have more opportunities that make me speak. And no matter how tired I am, I make it a rule to turn on the turn on the voice memo app to speak anyway. Because I can explain my situation, I can explain my feelings that I'm tired because blah blah blah, right? Yeah, it's good practice, right? Why not speak up even though you are tired? Yeah, it's good practice. And then something started to change. It's becoming my second nature. It's becoming completely part of my daily life. So that is why I don't find it, speaking English, something unusual or something special, quote unquote, special. So I used to feel differently, because when I speak English, I felt like I was doing something special. Okay, quote and unquote, special. And so that is why it made me feel nervous. It made me tense. it made me feel like I had to do something properly. I have to do something right, and I would have to be perfect. I was tense, but now I have more opportunities to speak English, speak or talk about something in English. Then it's becoming more and more natural. It's becoming, the second nature, and it's no longer something unusual, special, or something like that. So I don't feel embarrassed or shy as I used to, and it's a big change. And I can show people, or I can let people listen to me as I am. I don't have to pretend that I'm better than I actually am. Here I am at my house safely. I'm happy. Today is the day for burnable trash, so I have to take out my garbage by 11 o'clock, and now the time now is 10, so I have plenty of time, plethora of time, or cornet. I forgot the word again. This word hasn't been in my brain, inside me yet. Cornucopia, right? Cornucopia. Is it okay for me to say I have a cornucopia of time until I have to take out the garbage, until by the time the garbage truck comes? Is it okay? Cornucopia. Now I understand how to use this word. Finally. And this is very important. This is very interesting, right? When it comes to language learning. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. What I wanted to say is that ever since I started practicing my spoken English on this channel for the last 1 month, a big change has been happening. And unless I started doing this, I wouldn't have noticed this. If I hadn't started this practice, I wouldn't have noticed. So that is why I feel really happy that I started practicing my speaking practice. And I didn't mean to do this before I started, because I'm talking about 1 month ago, right? And because I was keeping my journal in English, and it gave me enough time to think thoroughly, right? Writing takes time, right, than speaking. But at one time I thought that why not I do this in speaking, and I was curious, and I started doing it. At first I wasn't doing as good as I thought I would, and it made me a bit discouraged, but I didn't give up. And there are some times that I wanted to give up, actually, because I thought that I might be sounding a bit weird. My intonation, my pronunciation, and something that I always talk about. I always talk about the same things over and over again. And even though my videos are not seen by many people, but still, if somebody listens to my recording, and I thought that that person would find it very boring, and I hate that. I didn't like that. I was scared that I was judged by people. But as you did more and more, this kind of thing, small thing, tiny things, somehow have become very small, and I don't care much about it now, because it's totally natural, and by the time you forget all about these small things, your English has become, might have become much better, because this is how you get used to it. This is how you get used to things you have been doing. So you will be changing in some ways. And just believe in yourself, and practice makes perfect. Yeah, this is totally true. And use it or lose it. So yeah, you just and practice makes perfect, and it's very, very important to spend a lot of time on what you're doing. It can be said to many other things also, right? Yeah, practice makes perfect. And but you have to also be careful about the method you are taking also. It's not everything. But if you are practicing in the wrong way, it cannot be as effective as it should be. So sometimes you stop and look back what you have been doing. Like, I always listen back to my recording to understand my strong points and weak points, what I did okay and what I didn't okay, to fix, okay, not to discourage myself. Yeah, I want to keep going, so that is why I want to know what I'm doing at this point, at this very moment. So in order to do that, I have to listen back to me. I have to review what I was doing. I can be sometimes a bit critical about myself, and try to see what I'm doing objectively, not subjectively. And I listen back to the recording I did in the past to compare it to something that I'm doing right now, because you tend to forget what you were doing even a month ago, right? And then it tends to make you feel that your English or whatever you're trying is not getting any better, which discourages you, which might make you give up. So that is why recording what you are doing and looking at it back, I don't know how to say it, but reviewing is very, very important, because you understand how much progress you have been making, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about, and this is my practice for today. And at 1 o'clock, by 1 o'clock, I will have to be back at the trimming salon to pick them up. And until then, I have a cornucopia of time. Is it okay for me to use this word in this context, I wonder? Okay, I wanted to talk about what happened to me yesterday, but I don't have enough time now. And it's about my favorite YouTuber, Connor. And long story short, he subscribed to my channel, this channel. What?